Hello, good morning everybody. It is now November 22nd. I think it's the 22nd. Let me double check. Yes, it's November 22nd. And we're gonna look at Dash, yeah? We all thought it was trash, yeah? But no, I disagree, my friend. It's a pretty good coin, no? It hit my target. So guys, I'm gonna show you guys my prediction because we hit it today, okay? This is my favorite part, being right and everybody making money, right? That's the most important thing to me. So here's my prediction, guys. Now, I always say timeline is not usually factored in too well. I focus on price action only. And this was actually done on, I think, November 14 or something. And I specifically mentioned that this was a buy zone, guys. Buy zone between $410 and $425. And I predicted a target of $540 to $582 with a stop loss of 388 and a chance to gain a whopping 38%, guys. I predicted it in a time frame of 8 to 13 days. Well, guys, if I did this on, say, the 14th and today's the 22nd, that's about 8 days, I would say. Wouldn't you guys agree? Bam! Somebody give me a bam gif. That's amazing. When I say GIF, is it called GIF or is it called GIF? Like GIF? You guys see all my BAM GIFs that I, Jiffy, Giphy, whatever. You guys know what I mean. So guys, $582 is what Philicon Sir Mr. Fibonacci predicted. And do you guys know what it hit today? Indulge me right here. It hit $584.54. Darn, I was actually off by $2. Wow, this coin is such a heartbreaker, guys. $2. That's, come on, you guys are impressed a little bit. Come on, tell me you guys are impressed and you want to know how I did it. Okay, no problem. I'm going to tell you guys how I did it, okay? Okay, first, this is going to be one of the more complicated analysis I've ever done. And I've spent the last 4 hours staring at this chart and I am very well prepared, guys, okay? Like they say, if you can't be ready with preparation H, you got to be ready with preparation charts. Guys, let's do this, okay? So first thing is first. We're going to pretend we don't see any of this, okay? We're going to pretend we don't see any of this right now. We're only going to pretend we see this right here. I'm going to highlight the part that we're going to pretend we don't see, okay? That part, we pretend that we don't see it at all. Let's see if I can actually block it out entirely. Can I? Now, okay, we'll just pretend we don't see it, okay, with that huge red area. No problem. Okay, pretend we don't see that area. So the first thing we do, right, is as soon as we see these points right here, we just keep drawing trend lines like this, okay? Right? As soon as we see this point right here, these points, the first thing that we do is always draw your trend line, okay? Always draw your trend line and pretend we don't see the red at all. Just pretend you guys don't see it, okay? Right? We're just gonna draw it like that, pretty much. Just keep drawing it. There you go. Something like that. Over here. Okay? So then we're going to use this and treat it as a, even before we see anything, we're going to draw it and we're just going to treat it as a support because we're only going to go on the information that we have. I'm pretty excited, guys. I sold my Dash at $530 and I always take my suggestions and I bought Dash, guys. I bought 50 Dash from $425. So that's pretty amazing profit, right? So I'm pretty happy today. My Bitcoin Cash analysis as well. Just last night, guys, I predicted Bitcoin Cash entry under, check this out. You guys got to see this, guys. You guys have to see this. Bitcoin Cash analysis, okay? I predicted an entry under $1,200, and this morning I woke up to it with my positions closed. I was wondering what the heck is going on right now, right? And surely enough, I set my limit at 1350, and we hit 1350. We hit 1355 today. So I was extremely, extremely happy, guys. And for the people that didn't get in on Bitcoin Cash, and for the people that didn't get in on Dash, I just want to show you guys that's all of us right here. We're the golden retrievers. right? And you guys are the bulldogs, right? You're that bulldog right there on the other side of the fence that didn't get in on Dash or Bitcoin Cash. Okay, guys? This picture is so sad. Where's my dog? I miss my dog right now. She's sleeping. I'm gonna make her howl for you guys later, okay? And if any of you guys are on dating service on Tinder or or eHarmony or whatever match sites, okay? If you guys are looking for a date, my dog made this little profile of her, okay? She says call me. You guys can call her anytime, okay? This is her profile picture on doggydating.com. So make sure you guys give her a nice little call. She's looking for someone right now. She likes she's a BDL, if you guys know what that means. And I'm not talking about the black, blank lover. I'm talking about a black dog lover. Okay, guys? Just to be clear, it's for the people that all have a dirty mind. I know how most of my viewers are. You guys are fairly dirty, okay? So she's a BDL, just to be clear, black dog lover. All right? And she's also the BBC. She's a BBC, you guys know what that means, right? Big black Cocker Spaniel fan. That's what she is as well. So she likes the Cocker Spaniels, right? Okay, so that is all that we see right now. So I'm going to draw my next lines like this, okay? We're just going to assume that we can use these as when I draw my lines, guys, when I draw my lines, right, I always draw them with the wick like that, with the wick poking out, because I assume that these are just, so if you have a resistance, for example, okay, right here, if you have a resistance, sometimes you can have a candle that pokes out of it, right? That's okay. But as long as they don't the next one successfully closes above it like that, like right here, right? So if you combine time frames on a lot of different candles, you'll actually just see like a wick poking out of it, just like that. So let me go into a lower time frame. You guys will see what I mean. Even though this only seems like a wick poking out of it on the 4-hour time frame, if we look at a different time frame, like check this out, we'll actually see candles poking out of it, right? These are what I call bull traps. Bull traps is where it doesn't successfully close above it. See? It doesn't successfully close above it with a lot of conviction and volume. So in a higher time frame, it just ends up looking like a bull trap like that. So the next step we're going to do is we're going to count our waves for what we see. Let's do that together. So the first thing I'm going to do is count the waves that I see here. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, and that's 5. So this right here makes my official first wave right here, which I will make extremely thick. I apologize for all the innuendos. It is just part of me and I cannot help it. I've got a pretty dirty mind. I can't help it, guys. I'm sorry. Okay, so you know what though? It's always fun to joke about things like this. I find that you gotta have a sense of humor in life, right? Gotta make sure sarcasm is the spice of life. I really do believe that, and I know that a lot of people may not like it, and a lot of my viewers might not find it funny, but I'm sorry guys, I'm always gonna stay true to myself, and I'm always gonna be genuine and authentic no matter what. When I was much younger, right, I used to always try to be someone I'm not, or I would try to suppress who I am. But now that I'm 33, will I never live to see 34? The way things are going, I don't know. For all you oldies out there like me, that's gangster's paradise, right? Michelle Pfeiffer, Coolio, yeah. So this is my official wave 1 here, okay? And now we're gonna count this as our official wave 2. Actually, no, not yet. So this is now my wave 1. No, we're gonna make this one yellow. We have to make sure we color code things properly. We're gonna make this yellow. I know you guys are thinking that I'm very biased towards yellow because I'm Asian, but that's not the case, okay? It just seems to fit a lot better. And you guys will see what I mean. It's very important to label all this. So I want to do an entire labeling in front of all of you guys, okay? All of you. Okay, so now that we have our first subwave done right here, now that I can count it properly, we're going to use this one, that's blue line. So this will be wave 1 in here. This will be wave 1 in blue. And we're going to get to the very end, and I'm going to explain to you guys why I decided to short it. Okay, so the next part is we see this structure right here, right? It just bounces to pretty much this trend line that we drew earlier, which is fantastic. That's amazing that we drew it like that and it worked. So now that we see that structure, we're going to adjust this a little bit. We're going to adjust this a little bit to accommodate for something like that. So now that makes a lot of sense, right? Get the wick poking through it a little bit. This will be our wave 2 right here. And I've decided to short it, but I entered into a small position right now, but I'm going to add more to my short because I expect it to go a tiny bit higher. I just want to start accumulating my short here, and I'll show you guys why I'm entering it. So now we have wave 2 there, and then I have waves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but first I want to test it to make sure it's a validated account. Perfect, it beat the 1-to-1 ratio, so now I can call that my wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for my 3 in there. So I will call this 1, basically just somewhere in there, 2, 3, 4, and 5, which now makes our 5-wave substructure. And this one I don't really count it retracing into the territory of wave 1 because it just bounced off of it pretty much. It's very temporary, so that fits my criteria very, very well. This makes my wave 3. And for the 3-wave structure, perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, made a 3-wave corrective down here. Perfect. This is actually looking really nice, okay? It's looking beautiful. Okay, I just wanted to confirm a few things. So this one is making my 4th wave right here. 4. And I also see 5 in here as well. It's easier to see on different time frames on lower ones, but I just want to stick to the daily chart. And surely enough, we get a double peak up here, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if Dash went up a little bit higher right now, but over time, I do believe it's gonna just end up coming down here. So we have 3 there, and now we have 4 and 5, just like that. Perfect, okay? So now what we have is this. This makes our 2-wave. Believe it or not, that's 2 right here, okay? Or sorry, hold on, I think I'm doing this a little bit wrong. Give me a sec. Yeah, that's right, perfect. So we have the 3 waves up there, and 2 is very different. So this is an expanded flat, guys. I'm going to show you guys what an expanded flat is, okay? It starts off small, and it gets bigger and bigger like that. So what we get is we get our wave 1 up there. 2 could be anywhere. 2 could be down there. 2 could be here. 2 could be higher than it. Then we get 3, and then we get, something like that. Actually, I'm going to draw it a little bit different. Let's give us a little bit more room. This is what expanded flat looks like. So we get 1, 2, and 3 will be somewhere up there, and then 4. It could be anything like that, right? It could be so many different combinations. It could be like that. It could be like that, right? So this is basically the type of pattern that we're playing in right now, an expanded flat. You guys notice the similarity, right? Perfect, just like that. Dash is really going up right now. Okay, so I'm going to delete some of this now that we have it very clearly labeled and we've done in the past before. We've analyzed it to death. We just want to make sure we have the main structures labeled. That's the important thing. So we have 1 right here now. We've confirmed it. Right here is 2. And now that we see more of this, okay, we see more of this. We'll see up to about right here, which seems to make sense to me. Let's take a look at the rest. I'm going to adjust some main points right here, okay? So this was a main critical point here, and here we would have counted basically 1, 2, but the 3 actually fell very short because it only made 1 subwave so far, and this is the second subwave. So I would assume there would be a third subwave still coming, and we were going to break this resistance. So what I would have assumed is 1, 2, and I counted only 1, 2, 3 right here, right? So I would assume automatically there'd be another one up there, and we'd break that resistance, and surely we did. 4, and then basically 5, like that. And now that makes third wave. That was a beautiful third wave going up, actually. And now we actually have a new resistance point, like that. So I'm going to delete this. Now we have our wave 3 going up like that. I will delete her as well. So 3 beautiful waves so far, right? 3 beautiful waves so far. And if you guys look on where we are currently right now, where we are currently right there, it actually just tried to poke through it but couldn't, right? And now what we need to do is figure out where 4 is, right? So this is obviously 4. We can just tell right here. Actually, this could have been 4, or this could have been 4. But let's say we take a look at it further on a different time scale, like a 4-hour chart. Can we count 3 subwaves in there? Sure, definitely we can. From right here, 1, 2, let's say from here, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, and 4, and basically, actually, hold on, let's double check this. Sometimes the wave counting can be tricky, right? So 1, 2, I'd say probably about 3 here, 4 and 5, around there, 3, 4, and I'd say 5 is right around there. And these are corrective patterns. So this one here would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we get somewhere down there, and somewhere up there. And this one looks like it did a crazy A, B, C, D, E correction in here. It's a very extended one, A, B, C, D, yeah. Something like that, where it extended into even a 9 wave structure. I don't want to spend too much time counting it. But this is a consolidation for a breakout there, almost like a flag, but a wedge of continuation. So what I will call that one is 4, right here. 4, and then we get our 5th breakout to right here. Right? That makes a lot of sense to me. Let's make sure we have 5 subwaves in here as well. We have 5 small ones, I suppose. That's beautiful to see it, to make sure our impulse are 5. Say from down here to down there, whoops, down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Excuse me for a second. Okay, where were we? So, okay, this looks really good to me right now, after counting all the waves like that. I mean, this one here, it's a little hard to count, but I would count it as an A, B, C, D, E correction. So A, next highest point around, say here, B, B, C, and this area is E-ish. Or it could be like a 9 wave corrective. I just don't want to zoom in too much. So now what concerns us is, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and I count 5 up there already. So now we're going to call this 3 to 4. Whoops. 3 to 4, right around there. Looks pretty good to me. Dash is moving parabolically, if you guys have noticed. So check this out right here. I actually closed my short. I took a tiny loss on it, tiny, but I'm going to be adding way more to it once it reaches a high that I'm satisfied with. So, but if you guys notice, right, it's parabolically increasing. So if I took my trend angle from here, this is 18, this is 28, it's 10 degrees more. So if I take my angle here, right, if this one was 20, I want to add 20 more to that as well. I'm going to assume a 32-degree angle where it might bounce off of right here. I'm just assuming symmetry right now. So I'm going to assume, did you guys see my logic there? Let me show you. This one here is, say, 15, and this one is 23, right? So we're going from 15 to 23, which is 8. So I also want to use the right angle for here. So for this one is 23. I want to use about 8 more as well, I guess. So we'll go 31 degrees because I want to assume exactly the same symmetry, right? I want to assume the same symmetry. And I also want to assume the same, this one was not as sloped, this one was more sloped. I will assume that this one will be identical, if not a little bit more sloped. So I do believe we are going to get a shorting opportunity like that. Because it's hard to disagree that we do have a 5-wave count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? I'll delete this in here. And this is not going to be one of the plays where I will tweet about, because I think I don't really want to tweet plays that involve shorting because it's not for the faint of heart, put it that way. Well, I'll tweet it, but I'm not going to add it to my book because it's not one that I would recommend to the public. So it's very risky to short, right? So this one here will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sure, we'll go there. 2, 1, 2, 3. Sorry, I drew that one wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. That satisfies my requirements. And we counted all the subwaves in there, right? So how could we not assume that that's the top right there? I mean, the only way it would not be the top is because this one here broke this trend line like that, right? It broke this expanding trend line, right? Like that. You guys see what I mean right there? Then what we could also assume is that maybe this one will be broken and it'll actually reach a much higher high. So that's the only thing that I could assume right here. So it'll break this entirely and just go for a newer high. So that's slightly possible as well. If this one here beat the high by, say, this angle was 18, so 12 degrees more, just based on symmetry of 12 degrees more. I'm using a lot of processing power in my head, so don't mind me. If this one was 29 degrees, then we're going to shoot for about 41 degrees. It almost seems absurd, the target, if that were true. 18. So let's just go with 10 degrees. 29. Actually, I'm just going to go for there. So we could also assume that it might even, it's possible, but I don't think it's likely. I mean, it's really not likely at all for us to hit that, I think. I think it's more likely for it to bounce into here because it's a pretty major resistance point already, guys. I can't see it getting higher than that. I mean, if we do a measured move, just as an example, let's say we do a measured move. Let's see how much this one went up. We'll test this one, right, first. I mean, this one might not even be right. It might be more so like that, right? We get a huge third wave like that. This one seems more right to me. Do you guys know what I mean? This one seems a lot more right. Maybe even somewhere like in there. That's scary, right? If I chose this specific point, We call this a truncated C right there. We get pretty much the same symmetry for this corrective wave in there as well. So I can't help but think that this is the top, guys. You know, I really can't help but think it is the top right now. Unless we're getting unless we break it and we hit for like 700 something. I mean, that's possible as well. So let's just do some more analysis and check out some time frames that we're doing here. So let's say this one was 139 days. We'll assume the same thing here. Like that can't be the target. Like no way, $868. Yeah, I just, okay, let's do another type of analysis. I'm just basically throwing spaghetti on the wall right now and seeing what sticks, right? That's what we do as an analyst. So I'm just gonna take a look at some indicators now, guys. I mean, we're looking at some ridiculously oversold zones right now. Wouldn't you guys agree with me that that is so oversold right now, right? Here it was oversold, yeah, but it made a top there. And this is on the daily, right? Like just as an example, okay? This is oversold and it shot back down. Oversold, shot back down. Double peak at the highest and it shot back down. This one here made one peak, shot back down. Made a second peak, shot back down. This one especially is the scary one, right? Or not the scary one, but indicative that it came down. First top came back down, I'm sure, great. Second top came back down, right? There's no way it's going to get a higher RSI than that one already. It's extremely oversold. So, like, and then we made a top here, came back down, made a triple top, came back down. So it's really hard to believe that on the daily chart that this is going to get much higher, right? I mean, we already peaked right here already at 88 RSI, and now we're peaking like at extremely oversold zones already. The volume is definitely declining compared to the last one. So that's how I'm looking at it. We look on the 4-hour chart now, right? We look on the 4-hour chart, and every time it peaked really high, it just comes back down. And it's having a lot of trouble right now getting a higher MACD. And if I look at compared to wave 3 and 4 as well, right? 3 and 4, I'm seeing it come down here. It's bearishly diverging to me still. We're not getting a higher high on the MACD and the histogram's diverging. And now I see this as well, it's bearishly diverging, right? It's not getting a higher high than it. I think that this will eventually just diverge as well like that. I think that it needs a small correction before it can make room for a bigger one, like for a bigger move. Because like this is 5 counts in here, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, correction. And we even count, like, I'm going to break it down even more for us, okay? I'll break it down quite a bit, actually. Let's confirm that this is now a rule that fits in here. 1, 2, right? 2. Yeah, we beat a 1-to-1, so that confirms that this is wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, right? 4 correction there. 4 doesn't retrace to the territory of wave 1, or if it does, it barely does. It barely counts, just the wicks, which I absolutely accept. And here it made a corrective pattern, right? If we zoom in, it's probably an ascending triangle. Pretty much it is, yeah. It just gets a horizontal top here, right? Ignore that price there. And then you guys just count the wicks of it breaking. Sorry, an ascending triangle, right? And when the triangle ended up meeting there, look what happened, it broke out. So I know that this is basically wave 2, right? Wave 2 right there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This makes waves 2. And I'm going to zoom out even further so we can analyze this third wave substructure, right? When it broke out, that started wave 1 there. So I call this my wave 1, 2, and 3, and 4 is down there, and 5, right? Really hard to disagree with that. And this one here made like a 9-wave substructure, or an A, B, C, D, and basically like a really extended, actually, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wow. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and a 9-wave substructure. This will more so count like that. And inside of this one, it made an A, B, C, D, and E, and then it went up. That's how I see it. So this made an A, B, C, D, and E. Perfect, right? That A, B, C corrective in there. This would be more accurate like that. Yeah, that's a 9-wave substructure correction. It's called a 9-wave flat, guys. 9-wave flat if you want to check it out. So that's how I confirm my wave 3 as well here, right? And we want to confirm this part now. I have, this will be over here pretty much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that confirms that for me. So 1, 2, oops. 1, 2, 3, 4, and an expanded one here. I confirm the smallest things, guys, just to make sure, okay? Let's just make sure that we, for our Fibonacci extension, 1, 2, yeah, it beat it 1 to 1. So what I do all the time is I make sure wave 3 is not the smallest. That's what I've been doing the entire time. So 1, 2, like that, okay? And I make sure it beats my 1 to 1 retracement to confirm that wave 3 is okay. All right, so now we're gonna call this wave 1 here, okay? Or sorry, we're gonna call that wave, I'm on the wrong time frame here, excuse me. Yeah, so that waves 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we have literally counted pretty much everything here. Let's zoom in a little bit more still, right? Yeah, so I counted that as my first 5-wave substructure. What did I do it on again? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we get a very extended 5th, which now makes my wave 1. So this is how we confirm analyzing with Elliott wave. A, B, C, D, and E. That looks pretty good to me. Or we can call it A, B, C in here. So how do I count this guy? I'm just double checking here. Let me think about it. Yeah, so I'm gonna isolate it first of all, just like from here. So 1, basically 2 somewhere is there, 3, and then 4, and then 5. We're getting some massive resistance, if you guys can tell here, right? We're getting some massive resistance at the top there, and I don't think it's gonna go higher than that, guys. Okay, so we confirmed that, and here is a complicated one. 1, 2. Let's zoom out to a different time frame here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that sounds good to me. So this is 1. It's basically 2. This is 3. This is 4. Notice 4. It barely retraces to the territory of wave 1. So that's how I'm confirming it. We'll see more subwaves once again inside of the different ones, but I just don't want to zoom in too far. I'll only focus on what we see. So that's 1, and that's 2, and that's 3. So notice 4, barely again to the wave 1 territory, right? There we go. And now let's see if we can find 5 waves in here pretty much. Looks like it's trying its 5th one right now, but it's failing pretty miserably. Just it exhausted all strength. Actually, no, we zoom out and we see 5. So this is me confirming. 1, 2, basically 3 right around here, 4-ish there, and 5. And if you guys look on the 45-minute time frame here, okay, guys look on the 45-minute time frame, this is a nasty, nasty candle, guys. That's a nasty candle. I gotta tweet it. I'll be back. Okay, we're gonna do some very advanced type of analytics, guys. Okay, watch. This is how I can also confirm my 5 waves. I'm gonna first of all go to the daily chart here, okay? Actually, not the daily. That's not a good one for this. All right, this is a good one, I think. Let's have a look at it. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. 1, 2. Actually, let's double check. Maybe on a different time frame. Let me double check this. So watch this, okay? We have 1. I'm going to use the blue moving average. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. So if I counted that as 5 right there, this was my first subwave. This is my second. This is my third. And all of this area is correction 4, and that's 5. And if you guys look as well, okay, let's say I cleared out all of this right here. what do you guys notice? It actually coincides also with here, right? Look, 1, see how it lines up? This is 2, see that right there? Do you guys see 3, how this lines up there? And 4 is, well, I guess it could be here or here. Okay, I'll choose this point 4, and that's 5 right there. So how could I be led to believe that it's still going up, right, guys? So I close. You know what? Let me just show you guys 1 second. So here's me just telling you guys that I'm confident that it's going down. I'm starting very small right here, starting very small at $556 short, okay? And that's me putting in $2,500 to short. So yeah, that's how confident I am. I'm just gonna put in 5 dash here in front of you guys, okay? And I'm gonna sell mine at what? Let me double check it. Okay, so I'm gonna add more to my short once I get more confirmation. I think $2,500 is a good point. Let's just make it 550 right here, okay, guys? 550, and maybe I'll close my short during the video. Who knows, right? I just want to add it to 550. So yeah, sure, I'll make $30 during this video. I'm happy with that. You know, we got massive stack walls here, and I'm pretty transparent, guys. I'll show you guys my positions that I play in the short term. This is my short-term positions that I play on this account. You know, I keep a balance of anywhere between 5 to 10,000 for my margin. It's more than enough for me because I'm a day trader. Keep in mind, all right? I'm a day trader, and I play very short-term positions. But what I do see is you guys see a lot of people just stacking up. Like, we're talking thousands, guys. This guy's got 400 in there, okay? And they're not real. This is not an actual guy who has Dash that he's selling, guys. This is just a guy who is stacking up his Dash through leveraging, okay? So it's hard for me to believe. Like this guy too, 400, you know, like there's so much resistance. He wants to drive down the price, right? He drove up the price temporarily. That's why we see this mass. We got so many rejection candles, guys. Like I can't even let you guys know how much rejection candles we have right now. Because it's ridiculous how many rejections we have. So yeah, so I might even just want to close my short here and get a tiny higher price. Let's just see what happens. Okay, anyways, I just want to show you guys that quickly. So I do see a 5 count already, right? 1, 2, 3. This is 4 down here. 4 down there, perfect. And on the R side, I see the same thing pretty much. I see a 1 count. I see a 2, that's first highest top. I see a 3, like right around here. I see a 4, or sorry, 3 right up there. I see the next highest point somewhere in between here. And then the next highest point, which really does coincide with my Elliott wave counting. And like, I'm looking at this right now, guys. Like, okay, now that we're looking here, I've officially counted my Elliott waves on the R side and MACD as well. Sorry if I seem a little bit flustered right now, guys. No, not flustered, but it requires a lot of my brain power to analyze and think out loud. So I'm just trying to give you guys an idea of how I analyze as well and why I entered my short. See, we're down ticking right now. So let's just look on some dailies right now. We got a big candle here, okay, guys? Huge candle. But what we have to make note of very clearly is that last time around, okay, remember when I was drawing my resistance like this? Last time around, we took a major downtrend before we went up and broke out of this resistance, right? If we were to go higher, we're gonna downtrend a little bit first. I mean, our size is too high, guys. This is way too high right now. Not only that, we couldn't quite break the wave 3 high. Wave 3 always has the most magnitude, right? So because we couldn't break it, it's hard for me to believe that we're gonna get a higher high than it right now. And people are already hesitating. So what I saw on my account, okay guys, what I saw on my account was that people were driving up the price and driving up the price and driving up the price because they wanted to get their short positions filled, right? I saw this guy with 400 just driving up the price with even more. But then now that he got his short position filled, he's like, okay, I'm gonna drive down the price now, okay? So not only that, it's fitting a really nice pattern right here as well, which I think will eventually break soon. So I just want to test the waters to get myself a sense of the market conditions and what's going on. right? What I do see is we can't even break a higher high than 60. And this to me is staying in my more bearish zone, which has now left my neutral zone, or sorry, my bullish zone. So yeah, so let's look on the 4-hour and we'll look at the MACD as well, right? We see it slightly hesitating at the top, guys. We see lots of hesitation here at the top, right? And we actually see a downtick. And you know, when we see hesitation at the top, guys, what happens after? You guys tell me, right? At this hesitation at the top, it just tanks after. We had a little run there of hesitation here and it went up, but that's the same thing as right here, the hesitation there and then it went up, okay? So I don't see really positive things coming out right here out of this. Let's see if this is forming any particular pattern, the RSI. I mean, I see it forming a pattern like that actually. Like from the last point, 4, right? From here to there. And do you guys know what pattern that is? That's like a, on the RSI, that's like a squeezing rising wedge, right? And right here, it's a channel as well. That looks like it's just ready to be broken as well. So I see many bearish signs right now of it coming down. And people are just fighting. I mean, look at the 4-hour candle, okay? We got ourselves a shooting star, guys. A shooting star is a really powerful candle halfway in. What a shooting star implies is that the bulls have attempted to push to the top really high there to 579, and that usually happens because people leveraging, right, to short, they want to drive up the price a little bit more to fill up their shorts to bull trap people. It is what a lot of professional traders will do. They will drive up the price, and I do it all the time too, right? I'll put up really big leverage walls, drive up the price there, let people think that we're actually going upwards, right? And that's really important, to let people think that we're going up so they buy into a long position. But instead they end up getting trapped here because we never successfully close above the actual EMA or resistance, or sorry, the resistance, not the EMA. So then after the short positions are filled, they drop their leverage walls here, okay? They'll drop their leverage walls on this side, right? And then they'll actually switch it to this side here, which drives down the price. Now what a lot of newer traders will do is they won't react, right? They're just gonna hold it. And unfortunately, 95% of the traders out there fail because they don't know how to react to situations like this, okay? So now that they're stuck in their long position, or the people who are leveraging as well, or the people that are going long in general, just basically everyone who was trapped in a bull trap, when it starts to downtick, right? Like we push down the price now, and the bulls have attempted to push it up, but the bears have driven it back down. So in the middle of the candle close, the market psychology is speaking very loudly. Even more loudly here, right on the 3-hour chart. Now we're getting dojis at the very top. Whenever we get dojis at the very top, it's never a good thing, guys. We already reached our 3 critical peak points here, right? Like 1 here, 2 there, 3 there. And now if I look on the MACD as well on the 3-hour chart, it's diverging on the histogram as well. It's snapping really far high. 1, 2, yeah, like I can't help but think it's gonna go down. We're getting our extended 5th wave here, right? I count it like this through Elliott. 1, 2, on the histogram, 3, 4, and then 5. Also divergence here, right? On the 2-hour chart, we're getting the same type of shooting star. We first got doji, and then we're getting another shooting star up there with only 10 minutes to close the candle. Lots of shooting stars. We're getting dojis at the very top. People are hesitating or filling their short positions. Massive shooting star right there. On the 1-hour chart as well, right? We're just about to cross over on the MACD. This guy just looks like it wants to come down. We're about to cross over to the negative side as well. All very bearish signs, right? All very bearish signs here. Even on the 45-minute chart, we're getting like a shooting star / inverted hammer, whatever you want to call it, right? So the critical point right now is here. To me, on say 45-minute chart, this is the critical point where it looks like it wants to break down entirely. And if we break this right here, this resistance on the RSI, which is about the 60 zone, we're going down, guys. Like we're going down. Inverted hammer is very implicative already. We're fighting right here to come down on the histogram. So yeah, I mean, some people might argue that's a head and shoulders pattern, but it's pretty crappy to me. A, B, C, D, E. I say it's more like making a little channel before it breaks and snaps and comes down here. So some people might see it like that or something. Some people might see it like that. I see mine like that right here. We'll probably make 5 in here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we might even make another $570 run and then come down. But what we notice every time, guys, is let's say we go to a 1 hour chart, okay? What do we notice every time? And you guys will agree with me, I think, when I say this. Okay? Every time we make a run up, guys, I'm gonna go to way back, even on the 1 hour chart, okay? Every time we make a run up, okay? This is the 55 EMA, this yellow line right there. We run up and it snaps back down to the yellow line. Think of it like an elastic band, all right? Think of it like an elastic band where if it gets expanded too far, it will now snap and come back down. So it goes up, comes down, goes up and comes down. So this elastic band every time, right? It always wants to get closer to it. Always wants to get closer to it. On a downtrend, it stays below it. Might break out a little bit on the upside corrections, but even on the downside, it snaps back up. Downside snaps back up. Look how far extended we are right here, even on the 1 hour one, okay? Would you guys agree with me? That's hyperly extended right now. And the 1 hour candle is a scary, scary candle right now of the doji. It's about to close in 8 minutes, guys. And we don't beat those kind of candles. It implies market psychology. And when we get market psychology that's implicative in these types of candles, it's nothing but a downtrend from there, guys. I mean, look at these ones, right? We're getting them right here as well. This green one right there is a strong one. We got a hanging man right there as well, shooting stars all over the place right there. Now, what I am seeing, guys, let's think about it like this, okay? Where do you guys see more wicks? On the downside or on the upside? No, really, answer that question to yourselves. Do you see more wicks poking to the downside, or do you see longer wicks on the upside? I see more rejection to here, right? Rejection. So think of a hockey game, okay, guys? Think of a hockey game. That's the rink. Excuse the ugly drawing. And then you have team A, and then you have team B. You have one team Bulls, one team Bears, okay? Well, right now, what we're seeing right now is that like basically the Bulls are losing because they keep attempting, right? They keep attempting to break out, but they're getting rejected really hard by these long wicks, okay? So think of it like that, right? So they're getting rejected pretty hard right now. Think of it like any sports game in general or whatever, however you want to use an analogy. So the Bulls are pushing really high up right now, but they are getting rejected really, really hard right now. See that? This one is a very strong candle that's about to close in 6 minutes. Once this candle closes, guys, it's going to be super scary. It's going to be a downtrend. See, notice that for every uptrend, guys, even on the 4 hour chart, okay, on an uptrend, it goes up, snaps back to the yellow line. It goes up, snaps back to the yellow line. It goes up, it eventually gets close to it, but it always snaps back. So how are we not led to believe that you know it's not going to snap back, right? So yeah, I mean we have 1 almost snap back there, 2 almost snap back there, 3, and then with an extended one, then finally snap back. So look at here, almost snap back there, almost snap back there. This is the final one. How could we not be led to believe that it's going to come down? So I'm absolutely going to short this one, guys. I'm going to short it short term, very short term, okay? I'll call this one 2 actually right there. Let's check out some retracements. This one here retraced a lot, I can tell already. This one here retraced to 786 level, okay? That means that this one I can automatically assume that it will not retrace as much just based on Elliott wave rules. Probably 386, I'm guessing. 386, there you go. Well, to the 0.5, we'll call it breach there, but it finished at 386. So this one we will assume the very similar thing. First of all, I'm going to explain to you guys Fibonacci. So for this retracement, we only factor it into this right here, onto the first wave, okay? For this one, we factored into the third wave, we factor into only the fourth wave, okay? Fourth wave only. But the fifth wave retracement, we factor it into all of it. All of it. And I will show you an example right now on NEO, just as an example, okay? Just bear with me and watch this, okay guys? Watch. You guys are gonna, I hope you guys take a lot away from this one. So this is where wave one pretty much started, we'll call it. Actually, let's go to a different time frame. Okay, we're gonna call this one wave one right here. Watch. This one here retrace to a 382, actually 0.5. So we will assume a very small retracement of the next one, which will hold true. Probably, yeah, 382-ish, right? Perfect, okay? And this is wave one, just as an example. Wave one, that's two, that's three, that's four, that's five. So like I mentioned for Elliott wave, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we take Fibonacci for the second wave here. Fibonacci is applied to only wave one, right? And then the Fibonacci for wave four retracement is only applied to wave three, okay? But then now the fifth wave retracement, it applies to the entire wave structure. And I'll give you the perfect example right here. So a lot of amateurs will think they'll take the Fibonacci only from wave 4 to 5, and they're gonna use this as a retracement, like, oh no, it's going down, oh no, it's going down, oh no, it's reversing. But that's not the right way to do Fibonacci, right? Fibonacci would be like this. You take it from the first point of the wave all the way to the fifth point of the wave, right? And then now you get your actual Fibonacci retracements. Lots of hesitation here at the 618 level, right? So now we apply the same concepts to Dash, because that's how it's done properly. So make sure you guys are always using your Fibonacci extensions properly. So now that we have our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave in here, which I have no choice but to assume that this is now the final fifth wave after counting it. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 1, 2, 3, definitely. I mean, when I just look on here, I just can't help but see five waves, right? 1, 2, 3, and this is 4 somewhere there, 4 and 5, right? When I look on the RSI as well, I can't help but think there's 5 from the lowest to pretty much the highest of the next peak to the next lowest right here, right? Around there, that's the next highest peak there, from around the next lowest point there, and then that's the next peak. So I'm definitely led to believe that this is the top. Got too many candles, so I'm definitely going to keep adding to my short here, I think. So now if we just took a, extension right here to right here, for example, I mean, we could be retracing to, say, around here. 275 seems a little extreme, I'm sure, for a lot of people. But you know what? Last time it reached $404 and it came back all the way to 260, and it retraced a pretty large amount. So anything is possible. This one retraced about 0.5 to 386. Actually, sorry. Yeah, so we take the retracement for all of the waves right there, okay? But now the thing is, this actually completes all 5 waves. So another possibility is that it'll break out of this triangle and that it'll retrace even more. So it might even retrace to right here. $375. Because then we take the retracement. Sorry, we take the retracement. Remember I mentioned wave 1 is independent, wave 2 is independent, wave 1 is independent, the retracement, wave 3 is independent, the retracement, but then now we have waves 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. What we do is we take the retracement of the whole thing. So I'm not gonna call this one, guys, because it's too risky. It is way too risky for people to take this chance right now. Way too risky. So I'm not gonna be adding it as one of my public ones for you guys to share. It's only the ones that I'm comfortable sharing where I think it has a really low risk. So I'm probably gonna add even more to my short, and I'm gonna target around 375. If not there, then I'll take a Fibonacci extension just to be conservative, and I will go from here to here roughly. So yeah, this is going to be my retracements right there, 415 to 375, and I will target it in a pretty long time actually the retracement could take. So there you guys have it. I just want to give you guys my thoughts on Dash because it's a pretty big coin right now. So good luck to everybody if you guys enter a short as well. I'm not going to be tweeting this one. I'm not going to be tweeting this one at all. I'm just going to share my thoughts on Twitter and just tweet it. But in terms of having a chart with risk to reward ratio, I don't think I'm going to do it. Okay, guys, I'm sorry about that. I might post my chart. We'll see. I'm kind of on the fence right now about it. I don't want people to enter a short because I will never call my short positions, guys. I will never call my short positions because a lot of people don't even know what a short is, right? And a lot of people might be like, oh, this is money right here. This is money. I want to enter the trade as well because Mr. Fibonacci is doing it. Well, Mr. Fibonacci doesn't want a lot of newer traders to enter a short when they don't even understand the math behind it or understand how much danger there is to leverage a margin short on that account, right? So I'm gonna stay really clear out of it. And that's it, guys. Those are my thoughts for Dash right now. And I just want to leave you guys with that. If you guys enjoyed this technical analysis, you guys know what to do. Like, subscribe, share, upvote, blah, blah, blah. And if you guys absolutely love the video, and you guys made a killer off of Dash, definitely give me a small tip, guys. Buy me a beer. Actually, don't buy me a beer, guys. Only do within your means. Buy Luna tequila. That's what she loves, okay? Because we made a 25% killer profit, guys, on my call, right? So buy me a beer. I would love one. I want to go out for a drink with you guys. So take it easy, guys, all right? See you guys later.